Thoughts on the Bible readings: 1 Samuel 20, Isaiah 64, Matthew 9. For July 8th, it's amazing that Saul with spies everywhere could not find David in the wilderness, yet Jonathan on his own could find him. No, it's not amazing, as God was protecting David and assisting Jonathan in finding him, and preventing Saul from finding David. The discussion between David and Jonathan indicates that David had only been absent from Saul's regal table for a matter of days, or at most weeks. They make a plan to explain David's absence, and to find out how Saul will react to this news. Together, Jonathan and David devise a scheme to communicate Saul's mood without exposing David to danger. The two friends make a covenant twice sworn because of their mutual love. Jonathan will pretend to shoot at a target outside of the city, and will either tell David by sign that it will be safe to come back to the palace, or for David to flee swiftly. Saul says nothing to reveal his mood on David's first absence, believing David to be ceremonially unclean. But in an uncontrollable rage, Saul throws a javelin to kill his son Jonathan. Saul claims that David and Jonathan have conspired against him, and that Jonathan's mother is to be blamed for Jonathan's weakness. Jonathan left Saul's feast in a rage, and he the next morning warns David to flee with haste. Isaiah 64 verses 1-4 is a call from the prophet for a theophany, God revealing, or manifesting, himself to his people. The language recalls the time in Exodus 20 when God came down on Mount Sinai in might and power, and gave his people a fiery law. Habakkuk 3 verses 1-16. The earth trembles at his majestic and awesome presence. The purpose of manifesting his power is that his people will respond with respect and trust for their sovereign. Verse 4 tells of the Lord's love for his people and the wonders he has in store for them. 1 Corinthians 2 verses 6-16 explains Yahweh's purpose for his children. It is to fill the earth with his glory revealed in his glorious children. Verse 5-7 is a lament that speaks of our best efforts to please the Almighty. These are pitiful and unbecoming no matter how hard we try. However, when we graciously accept his forgiveness and mercy and trust in his righteousness, we become children who delight our God. Verses 9-12 is a prayer for our omnipotent sovereign to reverse our desolation and bring peace and glory to Zion when he delivers us. Matthew 9 verses 1-8 speak of our Lord Jesus Christ healing a paralytic man. Note our Lord's love, compassion, and authority all shown in this miracle. Jesus demonstrates the link between sin and sickness. Adam's sin brought suffering, sickness, and death. Jesus' life and offering brought deliverance from these. Jesus Christ is the Lord of life. And his life caused men and women to glorify God. In verses 9-13, Jesus called Matthew, i.e. Levi, to follow him. Many murmured that Jesus would ask a tax collector to become one of his disciples. Our Lord responds by quoting the words of Hosea 6 verse 6 to explain why he ministers to the needy and not the self-righteous. In verses 14-17, Jesus responds to a question about fasting by saying that his disciples were not fasting while the bridegroom was with them. The disciples of our Lord were like supple wineskins who were able to grow with his teaching rather than being stifled by adherence to mere tradition. Verses 18-26 speak of Jesus' restoration to life of Jairus' daughter. Jairus was the ruler of the Capernaum synagogue. This miracle again proves that Jesus is the Lord of life. Just prior to restoring life to Jairus' daughter, Jesus heals the woman with the issue of blood. The unnamed woman could not be cured by any of Israel's doctors. Our Lord did what the law and its rigid followers were incapable of doing. In verses 27-31, Jesus heals two blind men. What he requires of them is faith that he can heal not only physical disease but more importantly sin. In verses 32-34, our Lord cures a deaf man. This is a reminder of Messiah's kingdom rule. Isaiah 35 verses 1-10. Read slowly aloud and pause and ponder. Verses 35-38 tell of our Lord's mission and motive. Why did he heal? Because God had anointed him to do so. Isaiah 61 verses 1-4. And because he came to open the blind eyes. Isaiah 9 verses 1-7. What moved him to so act? Zeal for his God and compassion for God's children. Matthew 9 verses 36, Numbers 27 verses 17. The great volume of work moved our Lord Jesus to say, Jesus, pray for God to send more laborers into his plentiful harvest.